Hey guys, it's the SourceFed podcast. Huh? Can you believe it?
Man, I've spent 3/4 of my day today looking at a camera.
Are we going to start off complaining? Is that it?
Yeah,
we
don't
should
do
be
that.
positive.
No,
we
it's
should
cool.
get
I
into a
love
good
it.
mind
Well,
space.
what's something that you did today that you're proud of?
All of it.
Just one thing, goddammit. You fucking egomaniac.
Rodney Dangerfield over here.
I love Rodney Dangerfield.
Somebody step on a duck?
That's too good.
I love Rodney Dangerfield. He's great.
Yeah.
What's one thing you did
Was
today you're
great.
real proud of?
One thing I did today that I'm real proud of, I watched down an edit, and I think Luis did great graphics on it, so I'm proud of that.
Luis is great.
And
we don't talk a lot about Luis.
I like that. I've always been saying this since I started at SourceFed. Ricky is the only person to look at shit and go, hey, we need to change that. There was a dot on one of my videos. Like, there's a... Remember?
There was a
Listen,
dot on
don't
the
mess
wall.
with a perfectionist.
There was a dot on the wall, and it's very distracting.
Yeah.
And all you lovely fans love to point out that kind of shit.
They do.
So
Listen.
I like to make improvements in
The
things.
dot's going to be gone.
I don't want to get off Luis yet.
I want to get on.
By the way, Ricky
He
is
is too.
here. Ricky Mizuno,
Whatever.
Mr. Extraordinaire over here.
Oh, thanks. Go
Mr.
on.
Awesome.
Keep going.
Mr. Technicality.
Make eye contact with me when you say those things, please. Thank you.
You got real
Listen,
good
Ricky, I
skin,
don't know how
too.
you do it in your bedroom, but I don't like to make eye contact when I talk about someone.
Ricky, what you like in the sheets?
Soft and unsoiled. That's pretty much it. I don't have any prerequisites.
Ricky, what gets your Niagara fallen?
My Niagara fallen? That's a medical condition. If my Niagaras are fallen, I need to go to the emergency clinic.
Yo. When my Niagara's falling, I got to go straight to Canada and get what's good for me.
Ricky, what makes that canyon grand? I'm talking about Ricky's canyon.
My crevasse?
What makes your canyon so grand?
Nothing. That would imply there's it's like a port of entry.
Yeah.
And my crevasse is like a shuttered dam.
Maybe I'm being too figurative for you.
You're trying to lay a trap for me. I'm not going to
There's
walk
no
in
traps.
it.
I'm just saying this is exactly.
I've seen this show
Listen,
before.
if you need me to break apart my joke, then I will.
How is there no clips? Okay, so President Obama or any politician has. Oh, I totally interrupted you.
Yeah, I'm basically just asking you, Ricky, what do you like, man? What makes you tick?
I like pretty girls. I like pretty girls. Big ones, small ones, thin ones,
You like the
thinner
beach?
ones.
At
like the
some
beach?
point,
I grew up on the beach, Onarn, 805.
Yeah,
Love the beach. I grew up in I spend most of my days on the shores, Mandalay Shores.
Love those shores in Mandalay, man.
Lived in the
Mandalay
dunes
Beach.
a little bit. Mm-hmm.
y'all ever been to
resort.
Orange County?
I hate it there. Every
Really?
time we're gonna get a little real here.
We can talk
Tell
real.
me.
Go for it.
Every
baby.
other time, not every time, every other time I've been to Orange County, I get pulled over.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You think that's a race thing?
Oh yeah.
I know it's a race thing.
know it's a race thing?
You know why they pulled me over? Bullshit. Oh, your license plate was dirty. You ever been
Dirty?
arrested?
Holy
you ever been?
shit.
Yeah, and then he asked me about 10 times if I'd ever been arrested.
Oh yeah. I
See,
went to
I've
Orange
never-
County too. Orange County is the opposite of where I grew up. Everything there is put there. Like everything where I come from is happened there. That's like the trees
It's
are
a
perfect.
master planned.
Yeah.
Well, even
like Thousand Oaks
California.
or something.
Yeah.
You think about California in general. Mm-hmm. When you think about Hollywood too, let's
Greatest
get down
state.
to Hollywood.
Greatest
yeah,
state
for
in the
sure.
nation.
You got palm trees and shit. Hollywood,
Not from here.
California is a fucking desert. Straight up. It is meant to be a desert, and we implanted all these fucking sea trees and shit.
Especially
not necessarily. California is a desert, but it's one of the most diverse states, Steve.
Well, it's
you
true.
Can 5 minutes mountains, 5 minutes beach, 5 minutes
True.
I'm on the plains.
It's true, but people have implanted
5
things that
minutes
they
I
want to
came.
see in their desert backyard to make it look more tropical or more like diverse.
the valley of Los Angeles.
Is a
We're not
goddamn
supposed to
desert.
be in
No,
here.
this is true. Well, it's not. It's technically a chaparral, not a desert. If we're
Yeah,
gonna get
okay.
technical, but it's still a dry and arid.
chaparral?
Chaparral, same like a Mediterranean climate, similar to Italy.
Come on,
or to
Ricky.
southern France. Look it up.
You
I
went
ain't
to-
making this up.
You went to Bakersfield.
Guys, can we
College.
put a
What's
can
it
we
called?
put
San Bernardino.
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
hold on. Let's put a bookmark on this one so we can get back to Luis really quick.
Okay.
Luis, the editor over here at SourceFed.
Lips on the boy.
This is
Insane.
what. Forget about his lips for a second. We'll get there. This is what I want to say about Luis. Luis, I thought. I'm gonna put him on blast real quick.
Oh,
he's
do
not
it.
here, and it's not.
No, he's
fair,
not here to defend himself.
But I'm gonna put him on blast. Luis, I thought, because I didn't know him that well.
I know what you're going to say.
But I thought Luis
Shame
was
on you.
pretty normal.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Until
I'm not
what?
going where you think I'm going. Everyone in this building that I know, save for some of the new people, I'm looking at you, Hair.
He has a name. That's Andres. That is Andres.
I know it's Andres. The reason why I know that is because our animator who does the cartoons
Has the same
Andre.
name. I want you to get to what you're about to say.
I've
about
almost
Luis.
called
This is what I wanna say.
Andres Andre a couple
Everybody
times.
I know. And by the way, I like your hair.
Oh yeah,
He's
that
a
takes some
stylish
skill.
guy.
Yeah,
I've complimented
I need
his
tips.
shoes. He's a stylish, handsome
Yeah.
man. He's a handsome
We
boy.
got to be careful with these
He's a
good-looking
good-looking
guys
boy.
behind the camera.
There's a lot of good-looking boys in this office.
I'm always intimidated by good-looking people behind the camera because the second that BTS camera corners them, everybody wants to know what they're up to.
It's true.
Yeah,
when I'm
it's
on
true.
It's so hard when I'm
True.
trying to read the prompter and there's all this sexiness in my peripheral.
Yeah.
What are you about to say about Luis?
This is what I want to say about Luis.
This
Let me
is
get
getting
to it.
real.
I'm painting a picture for you guys that don't know the behind the scenes workings of this place. But let me say this. Almost everybody here is fucking out of their mind.
Yeah.
Very weird, eclectic, strange people. I think you have to be weird and strange and kind of a little bit out of your mind.
If you're a
to
creative,
even get it.
I feel it, especially here.
Yeah, and
Any
if
kind
you
of
wanna-
creative setting or atmosphere, I feel like you got to be a little off kilter.
Yeah.
Little Dutch.
I will say this though. I've worked on some other sets. I've worked on some other programs and other productions. None of those places have been as weird and as eclectic as this place.
That's a high compliment, I think.
Yeah, no, I think I absolutely because I absolutely need my shit to be weird. If I don't have at least a little bit of weirdness on my set,
I don't
in
think
my
you would
production,
function. I don't think
I would not.
How was it? Because I know you made
great
people
question.
laugh. Because how was it? That's a very corporate, astringent.
Yeah.
We're getting a little bit of the peppering of the corporate, but they still let
Yeah.
us be us.
No, that's the best part about Discovery.
Yeah.
They just let us.
Yeah, they let it
us
be.
do it
They
because
let
they
it be.
know it works. At Sony, it was very tough for me, man. I got to be weird maybe like 15-20% of the time.
Then they're like,
yeah. Then it's like put your headphones on and fucking get your sound design done.
You can do 99 here because we have meetings every once in a while.
Well, that's why when I first started here, everybody was like, "Man, we thought you were so quiet and cuddly and nice, and you just had this you were very polite." And it was like because I just come out of the corporate environment of Sony, and I didn't know. You
were
got to test
scarred.
the waters
You
a
were
little
scarred.
bit.
You're
did I
being
talk about
on your
this
best
yet?
behavior.
You can't go full you when you start a job.
I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast yet, but there was a guy, I think I did, the guy who came through the back.
Oh, you talked about that?
Yeah, and you said to him, just basically a stranger came up.
Oh, I
and-
turned into old Steve,
And
yeah.
Steve turned into a different person. I'm sorry, we're not taking solicitations from this entrance, but you can go around the front and from there. It's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Ricky, I just want to say, I just saw like you pull out your phone, and I feel like you're far too technically savvy to be fucking around with a HTC.
well, this is my backup of a backup.
Oh, okay.
When we were
your burner?
in
Austin?
when we were at South by, my other secondary phone crapped. I had a OnePlus, and then I had an Alcatel, and that cacked out. And now I fortunately had this on me so I could communicate with people.
When I get heartburn,
and I just haven't done it.
Ricky made the biggest mistake in the
It's
world
real dumb. I
at
hate this phone.
South by Southwest when he plugged in those speakers in the microphone. And I remember,
Oh yeah, we went hard.
I just remember at South by Southwest, you were testing the speakers for the Temple Talk the next day.
Are you putting me on blast right now?
I'm just saying.
Is that what you're doing?
I don't think
that's blast.
all the work I was
I
trying
think
to
it's
do.
blast on
Blast.
us.
Acknowledging that there were technical difficulties and
no.
you're making jest of it.
Oh no, he's talking about when we were at the Airbnb.
In the Airbnb.
And you were testing the audio equipment.
So we were
you
just
let us
loud.
loose on the mics.
Oh, that was fun. I'm sorry, Wilbur.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that
we
was
went
fun.
ham.
You
over
shouldn't
that.
have done it, but that
That was a fun time. Can I just real quick?
Go
Real
ahead,
quick.
go
I'm
ahead.
going to let you get right back on that box, baby boy. That
ahead.
was one of the funnest. So we were all at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
It was me and you
Yeah.
and you
And Darren.
and Darren Von Gerdner. Pour some out for the homie. And I'd spent like 2 days with you silly boys. It was a lot of fun.
We
I
had
feel
a
like
great
we
time.
had a lot of fun. I got closer to you boys.
Yeah, I liked it.
Darren and I were in
liked it a
that.
lot.
It was an Airbnb with 3 rooms.
So
in it.
nice.
Each
Such
room,
a nice
4
house.
rooms.
Yeah.
We all had our own room.
Yeah.
Because there were 2 rooms upstairs.
Each
Oh no,
had
it was
2
3 rooms.
3 rooms.
Yeah.
Each room had 2 bunk beds and a regular bed in it.
No, there were yeah.
3 bunk beds.
I think there were
Four-
3
4 bunk beds in
There were
mine.
4
I had 4 bunk beds and then a normal queen bed that I sprawled out on.
There were 3 bunk beds in my room.
Huge kitchen.
Yeah, Darren and I had been there for 9 days. I think you came in like 3 days later, and you came in 3 or 4 days later too. And by the time you guys got there, I was already losing my mind.
Well, I kept telling people it was like Google Orphanage in there. Yeah, because it was like stylish.
It was
that was
so
a super
nice.
modern, stylish place. But there were also like so many bunk beds. It was kind of uncomfortable. How many bunk
It was a little like a refugee abode in like the
Yeah.
suburbs. Is kind of what it was.
Yeah.
This is where like the rich tech abandoned people go or something.
But also, I love how like it was operating illegally as an Airbnb.
You guys got a ticket almost immediately.
Immediately.
They did exactly what our Airbnb overlord told us not to do on like day one.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's why I realized, because their checklist for shit. By the way, Danny came around to each one of us with a clipboard and this like crazy checklist.
I got phone calls. Danny called me. Audrey, why are they? But I'm not
Well,
even
like
there
even
yet.
before that, even before that, before we even went there,
they fucked up.
Here at the office, Danny, like, I remember Danny came over to me and she's like, I'm sorry, but you have to sign all this paperwork for this Airbnb. And I was like, what are you talking about? What is this?
I didn't sign shit.
It had some like crazy shit, like, do not bring guests. And I'm like, what?
Definitely didn't.
They were like, do not make any noise after 8 p.m.
Other than that microphone shit.
Don't hang out in the backyard ever.
It said that?
Yeah.
It basically
like all
did.
this
No noise
crazy
after
shit.
this. No cigarettes. No this. No that. We broke almost every rule.
Well, but like those were impossible demands.
Yeah, if you're there to have fun, which is like, and make sure you have fun.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
plus it's
well,
like it's Austin, so it's
yeah.
like how can you not like
It's
have
South
a
by
crazy
Southwest.
awesome time?
We were hopping a skip away from all the activities.
Yeah, we were right in the hub of all the amazing shit.
Okay, you didn't partake in this, Steve.
hell yeah.
The ping pong
Let
table.
him know, Will.
Oh, I didn't.
Let him know, Will.
I'm
my
not good at
God.
ping pong.
It got real on the ping
It
pong
got heated.
table. I'm not the same after that.
You didn't talk to me for like 5 minutes.
Why don't we
after
get a
one of
ping
those
pong
after
table?
That was bad after one of them because we got into it, boy.
We got
Dude, that's when you started. That's when you started your breathing thing.
Yes, I did start my
he
breathing
was doing
thing.
that.
Yeah.
We saw that.
I learned so much.
Yeah.
I learned so much about myself playing ping pong. I learned because I was playing and I was losing to Darren bad. I was losing to Darren real bad before you guys got there. And Darren was like, why do you keep backing away? And I was like, shit, I do that in my real life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Then I
Is that
started,
different?
giving it to
Why don't we
y'all.
get a ping pong table here?
I tried to tell Ricky to
We
find
should.
a way to buy that shit.
Why isn't I like fun? I like having
Yeah.
fun. Can we get a pool table?
Listen, you can always say office morale, and like you can always go to Discovery and be like, "Look, we behave. We get our numbers."
It was like pulling teeth to get a pull-up bar.
Yeah.
And where is it?
It's like in a corner somewhere
On the floor,
I
not
didn't
being
pull it.
used.
No, I'll do whatever. If it's up in there, I'll pump out a quick 10.
Pull-up bars are much funner in theory. Like, I could totally imagine myself doing that.
Hold on, we're super ADD here. I want to back it up just a little bit.
Gonna talk
Louis.
about
The
Luis's
No,
list?
well, that's the full
that's
backup.
way-
I'm backing up just a little bit with this checklist, this South by checklist.
Yes.
I was thinking like, man, what a crazy checklist. Then we get there and we're like, oh, this place is a fucking party castle. It's amazing, and of course we're gonna invite people.
There was like video game. There was like a foosball table
Yeah,
upstairs.
it was an
there was
arcade
like it was
machine.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It was like ready to go. It was like
yeah.
a party house. And then we were like, fuck it. We broke every rule, obviously. And then we realized why the checklist was so crazy is because that person who was operating that Airbnb was doing it illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like sign some like city paperwork
He was
to
not.
be an
Yeah,
Airbnb.
he was just not in compliance. He was just like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, show up, don't tell nobody."
So like the fucking cops came and they're like, yeah, this guy's license to be an Airbnb is like super expired. And like you guys
I think they were like looking. I think they knew that
Probably.
this
The
guy
neighbors
was
knew.
doing this shit on the low, and I think that's why he went to such lengths to be like, "Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that."
Here's
It's
my
like just
theory
like-
And
about
as soon as you saw a fucking brown boy and Filipino walk up in there, they're like, "We gonna get these, get these boys."
well, it's Austin. It's
We
not
we
like
they in
it's not
Texas now.
Dallas.
it. I think the
You in
guy,
Hollywood no more.
I think the guy who runs it is actually a millionaire because he just set it up, or he or she set it up because we don't really know that they never have to do anything because first there were no keys. You just have to press buttons to get
Yeah,
in
it had
there.
like
That
a
was
cool
fresh.
electronic
That was
Yeah.
fresh.
lock.
Yeah, and the
You guys
everything
left the
was
door open many times, by the way.
Whoops.
You guys left that shit.
it was
on
just
lock.
Hey, it's
remotely
Austin,
controlled.
man. It's safe. Everything's fine in that neighborhood.
Everything was
It's
remotely
true,
controlled.
and it is totally different.
And it was a nice
That was
neighborhood,
like some of the best sleep
Yeah,
I had ever had.
same.
It was so quiet.
It was.
It was eerily quiet. But
Yeah.
I didn't
I would-
mind it. I
But then
liked
you
it.
live in that
you
house in a
used to live in like Koreatown or some shit like that.
Yeah, noise. It's always noisy. People getting shot.
Yeah.
People
Dude, I
drive-bys,
live-
alarms going off.
Oh yeah.
Right
well, that's
now-
Oxnard too. Remember that? That was
Yeah,
like
bro.
that was like the sound of that. That was a
The
calming
sound,
sound.
You get
Yeah.
the buzzing of the
Gunshots
electrical
and-
wires
Me
would
too.
go.
Ghetto birds.
Hell yeah, rice rockets.
Do you remember the birds in
fuck
the in Austin? The birds
Oh
in
yeah,
Austin
they're
were like
fucking
They
dinosaurs.
were just going nuts.
Yeah, loud. It was like in that King Kong movie, that Peter Jackson King Kong movie, all those fucking weird birds and creatures and shit.
How the fuck did Jack Black get that role?
But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Let me lay it on me.
I'd live in that fucking house. I would live in it. I would make that my home.
We should throw a clip up. I shot video footage. I have it on private on my YouTube channel.
Unless that's too much, and we might be like putting this guy on blast.
That's why I put it on private because I wasn't sure. But I was so proud, and I shot the whole house, and I shot like us playing ping pong.
I think it would be cool to at least show people what it kind of looked like.
Yeah,
It might be
we
too
can take-
much.
Wait, fuck it, whatever.
I
Yeah,
mean,
whatever.
Fuck everybody.
Anyway, okay, so back to Luis. Everyone's weird in this fucking building, but I thought Luis
was a normal?
was a
normie?
normal guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was nothing to make me feel like he wasn't until one day he brings a fucking snake into the office.
Yeah.
And there's nothing weird about that. It's like some people have snakes, whatever, that's fine.
See, that ties into the Texas thing too. I think a little bit.
Does
Oh,
it?
'cause-
He's from H-Town. They're a little different out
Oh,
there.
I didn't know that.
He's from Houston. He's got like he's got all kinds of pets and things.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
I mean, look, you can have your pets. I don't care. I'm not going to judge you about your pets. But, like, apparently, like, I don't know how much of a blast this is putting Luis on. But apparently, he, like, sleeps with the snake
What the fuck? No, does he?
in his bed.
I'm killing him.
And I was like, that's it. That's all I needed.
poor Luis.
Completes the package here. Like, when you come into this
I don't wanna
building,
believe that.
there are terrifying people here that you don't want to be in a room alone with. You don't want to be in a
Shit.
room alone with any of the people sitting
I sleep
here.
with my laptop every night because it's warm.
And you're looking
Well,
at
that's fine because you're a
material.
kid of that. You're a kid of that generation where you got to have your electronics on you at all fucking times.
Do you ever have the when you open your laptop for the first time when you're in the office?
I just did that to Phil and Steve like 2 days ago. Remember?
Oh yeah, he totally did. He
Sorry,
totally
my
did.
bad. My bad.
And Phil was like,
I was doing research.
he was like watching porn with full screen on. That's some single guy
That's some
shit.
single ass shit. Which just tells us that Phil's that has to be very cunning.
Being married is so different. Being married.
I couldn't even.
I gotta tell you, man, when I was married, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I would sometimes you wait 3 hours deep, your wife's asleep, then you get really good
3
sex.
hours.
to get your jollies off?
Sometimes,
Wait,
yeah.
what if she sucked you off real good? Just
Then you're good. Then you're great.
good.
Wait, in
You're
the
great.
bathroom
What
or
if
in the
you're-
bed?
In the bathroom, yeah. Well, you can get started in the bed.
No,
Then you're
dude.
single guy
You can
status.
browse. You can
Your
browse.
bed. I remember.
You can get it warmed up. You can do the
Get warmed
foreplay.
up.
Do
Just
the-
find
do
a little
the-
something
the
good.
finger foreplay in the bed there.
Yeah, you don't dare go into the bathroom to browse. You'll be in there for 2 hours, and then you get the knock on the bathroom door. Are you okay in there?
I remember your
Mid-stroke.
old condo.
yeah,
Mid-stroke.
that's a problem.
Your old condo. The bathroom was in your room.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be like, okay, I gotta be quiet about
Oh
this?
yeah,
shit?
yeah. It's just not good, man.
Nothing worse
It's not
than a
good.
quiet jerk off.
That's the thing. Like I think about like my brother, who has 2 kids now.
Wow.
Oh, he
I
can't.
could not
in
imagine.
like
You don't
one
want kids,
bedroom.
right, Steve? Do you still not want kids,
Oh,
Steve?
absolutely not.
You want
Yeah.
kids, Ricky?
100% not.
I feel like one day I would. I feel like one day I will. I
Sam,
still
have
feel like I still feel like a child though.
They'd
Come
be
on in
so
here, baby
mixed.
boy.
Come
They'd-
serious.
Come on in, Sam.
They'd end up being.
Sam is my friend.
Sam is my friend,
And I got mushrooms on my chicken sandwich.
You
Got any
comfy?
cool-
Is this comfy? How long can you be comfy here? You think?
A few, like 1 minute, 2 minutes.
A few 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'll scoot you over.
So
in a
like,
sec.
I'm having
I
2
cannot get
kids.
comfortable.
You're gonna have 2 kids.
I'm having 2 kids.
currently, or as we speak.
They're
so
bacon.
Sam, I know you want to have 2 kids. What if it comes out and the doctor's like, yeah, we got 4 in there?
He'd be a great dad.
That'd be some
he
Sam
would
shit
have
for
like
sure.
he would like exhale and then he'd be like,
That's some Sam
It's my
luck right
duty.
there. That's Sam
I
luck.
must.
Sam trips down the
Like-
stairs. Sam burns
Yeah.
his food. Sam has 4 kids and
Sam has.
Is that in order of severity
Yes.
of every piece of it?
I'd be like, okay, I got names for 2 of them. I guess I'll go to a baby book and figure out the other 2.
A baby bug.
Did you know Louis sleeps with his snake?
Oh man, I hate that.
Can we get Louis over here right now want to talk to him about it?
Let's go get Luis.
Go get Luis.
Go get Luis. I
Go
guess.
get
Go
Luis.
get
Why
Luis.
not? I don't want to find out if it's true. Oh.
Let's find out. Let's put Luis on
Let's
blast.
get Luis on here. Luis is an editor. He's a good.
Luis is great.
He's a good
What
one.
do you sleep with, Ricky? You sleep with a laptop, cell phone?
You got anything weird like a baby
No.
bear? Or you got anything
What
like
I've
that?
been doing recently, it really fucking sucks. So like right next door to my house, they're building a new apartment complex, and they've been doing it for like the past 4 or 5 months, and it's right outside my bedroom.
Super noisy.
So and it wakes me up, and I was waking up like in a bad mood. I was like grumpy.
Yeah.
That would carry over to my horrible commute, and then I'd carry it over here. So I've been starting to sleep on the couch. So I feel like I've been in the doghouse for like the past 3 to 4 months by myself, because it's like loud, and then it's like órale pues, oye, my cabrón, and it's like and it's the music, and it's like, can we just not do them? Can we wait till like 7 a.m. to start blasting
I've never
the music?
been. I don't know if I'm a weirdo.
Please?
That's never bothered me. Noises, loud noises,
That does
loud
not bother
noises
you.
and like
all night. No, I'm good.
No. Steve does not care.
I don't care.
I lived with Steve for a year, and I can confirm,
I
never
can't
once
handle it.
complained.
Never once. I live right by the freeway now, and it sounds like a sea of beautiful to me.
well,
I
the
love it.
freeway is sort of a constant.
the ocean, if you think about it.
A little bit. It's an urban ocean.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care about any noise, man. I'm just whatever. In fact, you know what? It's almost comforting to me the more noise there is.
Well, some people are like that. Some people. That's why it was like the peace and quiet in Texas. I was like, ooh, am I not going to be able to? But it was.
Yeah.
Some
Oh, it
people
was
can't take
beautiful.
it. Some people like need to have some decibels.
Well, I'm good
to
with
even-
both. I don't need.
When-
I don't need there to be sound, but I'm okay when there
It was so beautiful when we were in Austin, but I have allergies, so like I love trees and I love nature, and it was
fuck.
honestly looking at those trees was amazing. But I was
gorgeous.
like, oh god, you guys see this shit?
Were you really? I didn't even know you
Oh,
were.
you
I
get
was
you
complaining
had.
about it the whole time.
You were complaining.
was
but
it?
Yeah, I guess.
What did
so.
they call it? What was the stuff on the trees that was like?
Pollen or something?
No, it wasn't pollen. It was.
Allergens.
It was something that was like on their trees. In
Sneezy
Austin.
poo.
Oh yeah, you were telling me
Yeah,
about it.
someone's gonna yell at it. They're yelling it at their speakers right now because they know it.
Somebody's gonna throw that in my face one day, and
I'll
I'm just gonna
find
die.
out.
Remember poutine, Steve?
Oh yeah, baby. I fucking love poutine. Poutine's great.
I've never
That's
tried
Canada,
poutine
though.
because it looks nasty.
Well, ask me another
Sorry.
question, Will. Ask me another question.
Do you like poutine?
Ask me another
How
question.
long are you
Will.
gonna have the dreads for? Tell the truth.
So
Till Lil Wayne length?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like it though. Like, it's a lot. I don't see how long people with long hair do it, because it gets hot under here and it's like a thick ass mess. Do you like it? What do you think?
I think you hit the length. Was that you always talking about like having dreads first like 3 months ain't good.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
a weird,
awful.
awful phase.
You could even say 3 years for some people, but like
This is about 3 years.
yeah.
Cedar
People of dreading.
fever.
Cedar fever.
Cedar
Oh,
fever.
so
I
it's
had
like a
cedar
doc.
fever.
It's like a known
That's what it
thing.
is. Apparently, it like blows in, like you can see it.
Cedar fever.
Yeah, and it just gets people.
What's your next photo shoot gonna be?
Probably of here, Raina. I think me and Raina are planning another sexy photo shoot. I did one of Brie.
Beautiful.
Is that
photos.
coming out?
I did one of Brie.
It
Very
leaked.
nice.
Did it? Well, I was gonna say I'm waiting to put it on my Insta.
It's real nice.
Until we release the poster, but I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's
Did
nice.
you ever put out that film that with the bathtub?
no, it's still in progress. Still working on it.
Is that just for you?
No. I'm gonna make it and put it out into the world, and hopefully people look at it and watch it and appreciate it.
You
and-
come from traditional filmmaking, so I'm sure you're fine with. Well, I have this project that's been going on for months.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's just whenever I can chip away at it, put some time into it. Whenever I can get money, you do a little bit. You can save up money, put some into the music, money, maybe color correct it if you want to pay somebody, sound, voiceover.
That's how
the
you
whole
make something
process.
good.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's part of the art and the thing I've kind of realized. Like the stuff we do here, which is different, which is so cool. It's
Opposite.
so instant, it's quick, it's up there, and there you go. You set it, you forget it, you massage it a little bit. Plus, there's a team around it. I have myself and maybe a producer and a couple other people, and then after production, then it's really all on me, and I gotta kind of figure it out and scramble. But it's fun, and I think that's that's how it is when you're getting started.
You gonna make another one?
Oh, definitely. I don't know, maybe not like this. The last two I self-funded like completely, which was nice because I didn't have a financier over like breathing down my neck or anything.
Someone telling you what to do.
But it, you mini bankrupt yourself every time you do that because you're putting everything into it and then costs, kind of mushroom. So definitely will, and I still want to make movies, and that's the ultimate. But
the way I see it, if you want to be an artist, you got to be poor.
Talk to me.
You're gonna be eating top ramen.
Yeah.
Do you know?
At least at some point.
Do you know in many countries, if you're an artist or an artisan, I believe Ireland still does this. An artisan, some kind of artist, you don't pay taxes.
Wait, what? And where?
I believe many countries, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Ireland is one, but there's other countries just because they put such a value on art and they understand doing art in itself is not going to necessarily be a money-making venture unless you're somebody who's made it, quote unquote.
Yeah. I feel like that's some shit
Then
Obama would have gotten to. If
that's some Bernie Sanders shit.
If he wasn't,
Obama and Bernie Sanders, I feel like Obama would have been like, you know what? Art is important, goddammit.
God damn it. What were we talking about? Oh, we can't even say
that. We can't even say it. So I guess Luis isn't into coming on the podcast, huh?
I guess he doesn't really have a snake.
Sam forgot.
Let's call him right now on the phone.
No, we got it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
For all we know, the snake in the bed thing is not real.
I don't think it's
Someone
real.
at the office
I think
told
that's
me.
an embellishment.
Are you sure about that, man?
I'm not sure. Are you sure he sleeps with a snake?
No, I'm
We're
not
not sure.
No one's sure, but it's a good story.
We can just imagine it, though.
I'd like to imagine
Pretend it's so.
My mom watched too much Indiana Jones. She freaks out if anybody even mentions a snake.
People are so, I don't know. People were so terrified. Like Sophia wouldn't even get near it. Like she was legitimately like freaking out. Like that's real fear. It was real fear. And I don't know. It was like an experiment.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, I was like,
I'm okay with snakes.
Look at me.
One night, were you with us, man? Remember that one night? It was like Halloween or Christmas or something. I think you were with us. It was like
if there was a snake involved, I'd remember. Oh yes.
Owen and Isaiah.
Yes.
And someone else. I can't remember who else.
Fucking. Was it a?
Oh, it was. Wasn't it Morgan? Was it Morgan?
Morgan was there. Yes.
And then it was and then it was you.
The most.
And we went to this
awkward shit.
We went to this porn star's house.
I was so pissed. I was like, I want to go home because we had done the Happy New Year, and
that's what it was. It was New Year's.
And you were ready for bed.
Let's go home, and they're like,
yeah,
no.
Will was done.
You gotta keep.
Will's
you gotta
done.
go a little bit.
He's done.
You gotta lay with me if you can't just fuck me and leave.
Listen,
You gotta talk
we went
nice
to
to me a little bit.
We hooked up with our buddy Isaiah, who hangs out with the most amazing people.
He's like Bowman.
I miss my buddy Isaiah. Yeah, he's exactly
okay.
like Bowman.
Got it.
And so we go to this porn star's house, and by the way, fell in love with her place. It was like Pee-wee's fucking Playhouse.
That was cool. It really was. Like
it was like there were all these like cool like there. In fact, there were Pee-wee collectibles. There were like collectibles. There was like this really giant fish tank. It was like checkered floors
and
it was
a
like
goddamn
stripper pole.
snake.
And well, the snake wasn't even down there. It was like upstairs in her bedroom or something.
I remember it coming out.
We were hanging out. And then everyone, like Will was like in the car, or like you were already out the door.
I was out the door.
Be there.
I was like, this is not fun. This is not interesting.
You just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
You were done with the night. And so Morgan and I think it was like Morgan and I and Owen and Isaiah were all in this place. And you were like in and out. You kept coming back in and leaving or something. And then eventually
that was back in my younger days.
It's fine. You were tired. You were done. I get it. Some people are like, when they're done, they're done. They just want to go home.
And that's it.
You weren't really complaining or anything. You just wanted to go home. So like eventually we were getting ready to leave, and then Isaiah was like, "You gotta meet this girl Snake, man. This girl Snake." And I was like, "Oh, cool. What?" And she comes downstairs. She goes upstairs, and she comes back down. And she's got this snake around her neck.
Why?
And she was like, "Who wants to hold the snake?" And I was like, "I'll hold the fucking snake."
The porn star came down with what a presentation.
Yeah.
And porn stars are just people. Know that. That's just something she also did.
Yeah.
She was a fine regular woman.
She's got
I
great
know
taste,
two
apparently.
porn stars, and they're both very great people. Very nice, very awesome people. So, but she was like super cool, and she was a little weird, but whatever. It was New Year's, and her place was just fucking awesome. But then like she came out with the snake, and I was like, I gotta get Will in here. And like you came over, and you were like, oh no. You were like, no. Thank you. I gotta go to bed. Thank you.
My mom taught me to be nice to people. I don't fuck with, I mean, I'm cool with snakes, but not surprise ones.
Not surprised.
Was this a large snake?
It was
she had
pretty
her
big,
around
yeah.
her thing.
No, it's pretty big.
Smaller the
That's a lovely
scarier.
presentation.
The smaller the scarier?
Hell yeah.
Did you guys see that fucking video? Someone showed me this video this morning where this guy saws down a tree, and then like the stump is on the ground, and then like out of this little hole is like this fucking giant, like this thick black thing starts to like ooze out of the hole, and he's like videotaping. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it starts to like come out more, and it's a big black snake that was living like in the middle of this giant tree.
Wow.
And it looked like he cut the head off. But the body,
was like the tree pooping? Did it look like the tree was pooping?
There's this black snake, and it's just like wrapping around, and it's like kind of like coming out, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. Will's not
I'd
into
like
the
to
story
see that.
at all.
I'm into it.
And then it finally like boom hits the ground, and it's like wiggling around, and the guy's just like, "Whoa, where's the head of this thing?" And he goes to the other side of the tree, and it looks like it's just another tail, like wiggling around.
It's coming out of both sides of this thing?
Well, yeah, so it was so big that he like sawed it in half or something.
I don't think anything's wrong with snakes, but you can see why people like in the early days of human beings were
Oh,
like,
sure. Well, it's a serpent. It's a scary medieval thing.
Well, plus, yeah, and it's like
It's
it doesn't
evil.
have legs.
It's
How is
Satan.
it moving around?
The serpent tempted Eve, and she that fucked up.
I love that Bible story.
Now we ain't naked anymore. Thanks, Eve.
Men just have a way of blaming women for everything.
Everything. That's the most sexist story.
Everything was
It
great.
really was.
Everything was great until
God, I'm hungry. Yeah.
Go get an apple.
Go get an apple.
Not that one.
Don't eat that apple, but I'm hungry.
Oh, I don't condone this course of conversation.
I mean, religion's cool.
Yeah, whatever, man.
It's cool. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, well, shit. We could go into a real deep place.
Take me where you want to take me. Lead us.
No, I'm not
I'll
going
follow
there.
you.
I'm not going
I'll
there.
follow you wherever you go.
I just feel like the basis of religion is a fantastic idea.
I feel like I'm going to agree with everything you're about to say.
Right? It's just most religions, they start with a very good idea.
The
And
foundations
the
are good. Don't
foundations
kill
are good.
people.
Yeah, be nice.
Don't exactly
Treat people the way you want to be treated. I love it.
But this particular story, like damn snakes. What if they just chosen like dogs instead? What if it was like?
It wouldn't have had the same oomph, I don't think.
It definitely wouldn't have been the same.
What if it was like
You
pugs?
know what? I was at Epcot, the Disney park, and you know that big giant like
It's like a
golf
big
ball
dome,
thing?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I went into that ride. It's called Spaceship Earth, and you go inside the
Is it
dome.
like Space Mountain?
No, it's actually this very pleasant. I loved Epcot because the whole thing was just like an educational. It's like a big educational theme park.
Have you been to Disney World before?
Yeah, this is my second time.
Oh, cool.
A third time.
I need to go.
I love it. Epcot's amazing.
need to go to Florida,
The whole
then.
thing is
I wanna go to
educational.
Florida, though.
Every ride is cool, but it's all disguised as a cool ride, and then it's all educational.
Infotainment.
So I was on the Spaceship Earth ride, and it's all about like the history of man and like knowledge and like technology. So it starts off with like cavemen, and they're like, and it teaches you about how they created parchment and wrote, and like, yeah, it's really cool. But at one point, they were showing how our early stories, like the way that we even know history at all now, early stories were written by these guys, and then there were these big fires that would just destroy all of the parchment, and then people would have to kind of like recall the history they read.
Oh, and
Verbal
nobody
something
remembers.
memory, whatever memory. There's like a thing for it.
And then
Verbal
they were like,
something,
maybe
telling stories.
Yeah, it was like
Passed
word
down
of
to
mouth
the
or something.
generations. Yeah,
Yes.
there's like a term for it.
And then there was like maybe a library somewhere in Egypt or somewhere that like had
That's where all the knowledge for centuries was.
yeah, that had
Egypt
some
was the hub of it.
copies of the original stuff that were burned. But then there were these guys that were just like copying all of these scrolls down and these parchments down to make books.
The scribes.
And they were, but it
So
showed these.
Ricky.
It
no,
showed these.
I'm sorry. No.
No, I think Ricky kind of knows.
I know a little
if
bit.
You, look, if
I
you
understand
know
about it,
anything
bro.
about history, you know a little bit about this. I'm telling the Disney version because that's how stupid I am and how amazed I was with this fucking Epcot ride. But to be funny, they showed these guys. It's not like a silly ride. It's not like a Disney ride. It's very serious
Yeah, it
and very
sounds cool.
But there's this moment where it shows the guys like copying the parchment into these books, but there's one guy that's like asleep.
What a fucking job, by the
One
way.
sleep.
All you do is transcribe
Right? You're
shit
just
for your
transcribing
life.
scrolls.
You
all
don't, you
day.
get beat.
But all I can think
No
of is like
money.
what I've learned recently And forgive me, I'm sick. I should have said that.
I was gonna say, baby boy, you got a little.
Yeah, I'm like right on the end of it.
Something.
I'm almost good. But recently I learned things about memories and how memories are stored in this area of your brain where like over time they start to kind of like the memories start to break apart and you start to only remember like sort of like a rough idea of what the memory was, but the original memory is no longer there because you can't hold on to these memories for very long.
not exact, yeah.
Then so every time you tell the story of this memory, it might be a little bit different, or it might be the way your brain sort of remembers it, but it's not really the complete memory.
So
You
you're
ever
saying
played
the
the
whole-
game Rumor? It's like somebody thinks of a rumor and then I whisper it to you and then you
Oh, it's
whisper
like
it to him
telephone?
and then you whisper it. Maybe that's what it's called. And then it comes all the way back around and it's always
It's always
something
different.
totally different from.
Yeah.
And if
Little
humans can't
different,
do
but-
that, how are you supposed to tell me we transcribed history from thousands of years?
Well, because at least like a lot of it was written and a lot of it was saved, but my argument, and this kind of goes back to religion a little bit, is that anybody could have written anything, and it just to serve their kind of own purposes.
I for sure would have.
And that's the thing, like, so we don't really know.
History,
We don't really know how
history
much-
is written. History is written. History is written by the winners.
Yeah.
History is written by the winners.
Yeah, and it, look, I mean, there's corruption in history as far back as you can like recall or read about.
I've been mad at America a lot recently. I mean, I've been mad at America, but I've been thinking
There's
about
a lot
like
to be angry about, friend.
There's a lot to
Yeah.
be angry about.
I've just been thinking about like, we're always like America's the greatest country on earth. America, I say that shit all the time
Well,
too.
it's kind of like a brainwashing tactic.
American exceptionalism, pal.
In the past
I'm
300
about
years, we did genocide and slavery.
Yeah, a lot of terrible shit happened here.
What genocide did we do? Oh, the Indians.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, exactly.
Oh, that thing?
No one brings it up because they're all gone.
No.
Most of them are
We've just relegated them to very small sections
Yeah.
of the country.
Yeah.
Oh, you
hey,
can
let's give
have-
them some casinos. They'll be all right.
And liquor stores,
Keep
they'll
their
be
mouths
fine.
shut.
They'll be all good.
It's just
Don't worry
really
about it.
terrible.
There's
No,
some
it's
terrible
awful.
shit for sure. I mean, look. I don't know.
Every country has their
Yeah,
dark
yeah,
past.
yeah.
There was just I was just reading, not to get all whatever. It was like the history of or the celebrate. I don't know, of the Armenian genocide just this past weekend, and like the Turkish people to this day like deny that was ever a thing, that ever
Really?
happened, and it still causes like there's still like it's on a bigger scale, but like healing can't really take place, so it's like tough for the Turkish people, and the Armenians are very because
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of people were slaughtered.
Well, also like Hiroshima like happened, and
Yeah.
everybody's just cool about it. And, like, no one
Yeah.
really-
America dropped 2 atomic bombs
Yeah.
on Japan
they're just like,
nobody
hey.
else had them, so it was like fuck it, whatever, we'll drop another
But
one.
like,
as a test.
but that's the thing.
that
Like,
can't happen today. No,
I wonder
no.
though if
No,
it's an
no.
example of the kind of like, I don't know. I feel like America is so impulsive, and so there's so much. I mean, I don't know. That's a generalization, but there's so much impulsiveness in war, and there's so much impulsiveness in kind of like revenge, or kind of like 9/11's a good example.
Well,
of
that's
that
exactly
impulsiveness.
it. That's what it is, and a lot of that you get, and some people, whatever 9/11, are like, oh, if we can do these kind of things, then you get the population
Yeah,
behind it. Like
yeah.
people up until very recently, after the Iraq War and everything, were like, oh, we don't have an appetite for war, we don't want to go to war. And then ISIS happened, so now the needle is slowly starting to change.
Yeah.
It's like no troops at
Well,
all, and it's slowly, and I think that's how a lot of
Sadly-
that stuff gets shaped through.
I think ISIS has made us forget. Like, you remember Al Qaeda was around for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, they still
They're
are
still
too.
around, yeah.
But we like so many of those people, those leaders, have just been killed, but replaced because that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
It is. I mean, that was a whole thing. Like they were talking about, like the Arab Spring, it did do good, like 2011, and like Facebook was a thing, and like no more Gaddafi, no more this in Egypt, and yay, we're liberated now. They're saying like 5 years later, did that even help? It created all these power vacuums, and then Hezbollah and ISIS and all these other people came in and made shit even worse. And so,
Yeah.
And we still can't even find Coney.
Oh, this got real. Lighten it up for me, Steve.
well, let's see. I really enjoyed Epcot.
I know where Coney is. What if you knew where Coney was the whole time?
I know. Only I know.
He's waiting
Would
for
that-
that fat payoff.
Would
yo.
that be like treason if I wasn't telling anybody about it?
It'd be something. They might give you a Snowden treatment.
Oh
You
man.
might have to stay in the airport in Russia for the rest of your life or something.
He's not still in the airport, is
No,
he?
he's in Russia though. I think I'm pretty sure he's. Still over
Okay,
there.
here's something. Let me lighten it up a little bit. Here's something something Mr. Darren Ron Gardner wouldn't really like very much. But
boy.
I saw that movie Pixels on the plane on the way back.
Is that
from-
the Adam Sandler
the
one?
animated one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, everybody, when Pixels came out, people were shitting on it. They're like, what a piece of shit this movie was. Chris Columbus directed it, by the way. Director of Home Alone and one of the Harry Potter movies, or the first Harry Potter movie or whatever. He's Chris Columbus. Look at his IMDb. A lot of great shit. And so I was like, it can't be that bad, right? Like, I gotta watch this for myself.
You're on a plane.
Yeah,
Might
yeah.
as well.
Well, and on the way to, I was just at Playlist in Orlando. On the way to Orlando, I watched The Martian.
Oh, The Martian.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I liked
liked
it.
it. That
The
was
only
fun.
thing I didn't like
Vino?
about it was there were too many, like, one-liners from, what's his name? Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Like, it kept cutting back to me, kept going like, well, here comes another one-liner, because I'm just going to show you my morale's way up. Yeah.
I gotta figure this out, because, yeah. No, it was...
I mean, it was great. It was good.
Isn't he
It was
on a
good movie.
planet though? Like, isn't he on the moon
He's
or
on
something?
Mars.
He's on Mars
He's
by
on Mars
himself.
by-
That's why it's
himself.
called The Martian.
His people left him. They ditched him.
So who is he talking to? Himself?
He's talking to himself, and he has like this
There's
like
a
video blog
communication-y
recorder
thing
thing.
he's keeping track of.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was fine. I was just kind of troubled by all the one-liners and stuff, but it was fine. I guess it's important for the character to kind of, if they had gone the other way, then it would have been another Castaway.
Well, I
where
was
it's
just gonna
like,
say,
depressed
because
the
that's a
entire
hard
time.
thing to do, like a Castaway or like some of the other
Yeah.
stranded alone things.
Well, I guess it was kind of fun to see them spin it in more of a positive way. Like, they showed that his character was positive the entire time.
He was.
Even though he was like basically a
He's
dead
very
man.
hopeful and faced with
Wait.
adversity.
Is the lesson to always be positive throughout everything?
Be positive in the face of adversity.
In the face of
Sure.
adversity.
That shit's
Sure.
hard as fuck.
It is
That's
hard.
when I
Sure it
want to be
is.
mad.
Well, if you don't, then you'll lose control,
Well, I
and
mean,
then the
look, you can be
situation
mad.
will grind you down. It'll get the better of you.
I'm only
Yeah.
trying
Then
to.
they
be
win,
mad.
Wilbur. They win.
They win.
Don't let the terrorists win, Will. The
trying to
terrorists
win.
want you to be negative.
Look, fuck every terrorist.
All right, so listen. I watched Pixels, and I was like, this is a decent, okay movie until, like, maybe the middle, and then it went to shit, and then I fell asleep, and then I didn't care.
Mid-movie sag.
Yeah.
Really put you out.
Well, it just feel like they couldn't figure out the third act at all. You could tell the third act was the biggest mess in that movie, because you could tell that they were like, what the fuck do we do with this movie?
wrap
But
it
I
up.
loved they start the movie in like the 80s, and they've got like an actor playing a young what's his name from
Macaulay
Tyrion.
Culkin.
Tyrion from Game of Thrones.
I don't watch that shit.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter
They-
Dinklage, yeah.
They hired a young little person actor to play a young Peter Dinklage, and that dude nailed it.
When did saying midget become socially unacceptable?
I can't believe you just did it.
I think it was in the 80s.
No, we were saying that shit in the 90s, yo. You
I was
know
saying
it.
Well,
that
but
shit
it's
this
still,
morning.
but I think in the 80s was when they were like, no.
Really?
People were still saying it, but the 80s was, I think, at least for me, I feel like it was the 80s.
What year were you born, Will?
1993.
What?
You were already graduating high school.
No.
I was considering getting a Big Mac instead of a Happy Meal. in 1993.
Probably.
That's when you made the switch. That's when
I
you
made the
crossed
switch,
over.
Yeah.
That was such a different time.
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So
Simpler
different.
time.
Simpler.
The internet was not even real.
No, it's
really
just
a
a
thing.
tinge and Steve Jobs' eyes.
Just a twinkle.
A twinkle.
Just a 14 4K baud modem twinkle.
Yeah, my mom tells a story about how my brother, because my brother was like figuring out the internet like way when the internet was just starting.
It was so mystical and amazing.
Yeah,
and
well,
beautiful.
he explained it as like a way to like you could talk to people all over the world on your
Yeah.
computer, and
Who
that
knows
was
who
like
he
a,
talked to?
that was a crazy like idea. But my
Yeah.
mom tells a story about how he racked up these insane bills.
Oh, because it's
Because-
the phone.
yeah.
And she can never talk on the phone either.
Yeah. So she ended up like calling like the phone company or something, going like, "There's no way we spent this much money." And they were like, "Well," and then my mom figured out that it was like this internet thing, but somehow my mom was able to kind of like argue out
Did
of
he
it.
like install like an AOL disc on the low
It
or
was
something?
even
You didn't
before
even know
AOL.
that?
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It was
I remember
before
that.
AOL,
when
yeah.
they used to send AOL
All the time.
all the
This was
time.
before CD-ROM drives even. This was like floppy disks and shit.
Where is AOL now? I remember Trissa used to always go on their website.
They still
to find
do a
articles.
thing. They still own
I just learned
things.
that there's still Hotmail.
There's just a big, yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
I still use it's like my secondary alt that I send bullshit to, where you have to sign up, like my Yahoo account for that.
Yahoo is still a
My
thing.
Yahoo was a little cooler than Hotmail.
Yeah, Yahoo is way cooler than Hotmail.
And then they zhuzhed it up to look like Gmail, and I was like, I'm on board.
They have made it look like Gmail now. Huh? I thought I was only one.
What up, Marissa Meyer? Holler at
Listen,
your boy.
guys, we're gonna cut this one a little bit short because it's a short episode.
Oh, Steve's got to go because he's got an appointment somewhere else.
No, I'm just ill and I need to leave. Well, I'm sick. I shouldn't even have been. Look at how sweaty I look. Do you guys see how sweaty I am?
He's schwitzing over there.
But yeah, let's. But Ricky, I want to give you an opportunity for a longer episode. Obviously, in the future, we're gonna have you for a longer one, baby
That was
boy.
kind of you to say.
You know,
Thank you,
talk about it. But I
Steve.
feel like we were
Thanks,
going
man.
nowhere in this discussion anyway,
A
right?
little bit. It was fun.
We're starting to die down.
There
a
was
little
not
bit.
too much dead
They
air.
probably didn't even notice that you brought that shit up.
Well, listen, guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
If you're Chinese, write a comment saying you are in the section down below.
There's no need to do that.
Or Japanese.
But guys, also leave a review on the iTunes and give us a little star in there if you like the podcast. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about some of the ridiculous shit we talked about. And also like the video and share it if you would as well. And if you're listening to this in your car, please be safe. Make sure you buckle your seatbelt. I should have said it at the beginning of
Both
the podcast.
hands. Both hands.
Both hands.
Don't drive
10
with
and
your
12.
knees.
Is it 10 and 12?
10 and
I'm serious.
10 and 2.
If I find out you haven't had both hands on the wheel, I will fuck you up. I'm William Haynes.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Ricky, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, pal.
It's always a
It was fun.
pleasure.
Thank you,
And
always.
we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening, watching.
Big. His culture must be different. He